the next poet. I'm a little scared, I must admit. Y'all not ready.
You are not ready.
Y'all are not ready. But I'm gonna give it to you anyway. $1.99. Please welcome to this microphone the last team of the evening, Scurvy and Pook. Lots of short people tonight. Hey, we love you. It's okay. It's okay. Some of us can't get that pot out of the bottom shelf.
Well, we figured this room's a little too classy and we gotta dirty it up a little bit. Now, let me give a caveat to this piece about the work that we are about to throw down on you. The inner ear is 12 years old.
Yeah!
So it's about time for a rite of passage. A purification rite, a modern sacrament.
It's old enough for its soul to go to hell.
Right. So it's time for a roast of the scene. This is kind of written for the poets and for our returning audience in a lot of ways. You may notice yourself in this. I may notice myself in this. But the idea is to pass through the fire and come out unscathed, because the true measure of the strength of any scene is its ability to sustain self-deprecation.
Take a fucking joke.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Hasso. The Hasso. So, we would like to introduce you to the Slam on Slam. This is slam!
Poetry.
I said this is slam!
Poetry.
With an I, but lowercase. This is definitely slam!
Poetry.
Because every word I'm speaking is spoken with this halting style. As if every word has a comma after it. As if Christopher Walken were reading the ingredients of breakfast. Cereal. Sugar. Riboflavin. Partially hydrogenated corn oil. Because this is motherfucking slam!
Poetry.
And we can shoehorn anything into this rhythm to make it sound cool. Observe.
I'm gonna inject ants into your dick hole and smash you in the face with a sledgehammer made of ice.
Section C. All covered multifamily dwellings must have the following units of acceptable design. 1. An accessible route into and through the covered dwelling. Unit.
The herpes outbreak, it burns. My gonads, so lonely. Feeling the frustration from the lack of masturbation due to the sensation of abrasion with my genital manipulation.
Lap it up!
Yeah!
Like a puppy with a meat-flavored popsicle.
Cause this is slam!
Poetry.
I said this is slam!
Poetry.
And because anything repeated 3 times has great impact, this is slam!
Poetry.
Where we address important issues like racism,
Sexism.
classism,
Lookism.
ageism,
Hey, that was my line. The otherism.
weightism,
Weightism.
and other isms on the ism spectrum.
We don't do anything about it.
But we address them because this is slam!
Poetry.
And I'm telling telling you, it's one of the favorite motifs, social justice. It flows like cheap champagne that nobody could refuse because it's not an uphill battle to get an audience to applaud any call for peace or understanding or the end of the perpetuation of discrimination in any nation, because when you're dealing with slam,
Poetry.
it's easy to confuse the importance of the message with the quality of the message. Gauntlet. Now you can bleed sincerity from a mortal wound for whomever, from whenever, frequently or never, but from one slam poet to another, the real pain comes from scorecards that read twos, and no prize money to pay for booze. And maybe you didn't think you'd win, but goddamn, you didn't think you'd lose so savagely.
Man, the judges robbed me. They must be racist, sexist, ageists.
Hey. Looks like you need to switch up your strategy, friend. Have you considered the merits of sappy love poetry? You know what I mean? The old, she dumped me, he doesn't understand me, I'm so broken, /hurt, /betrayed, and nobody knows my pain. If only someone could see the real me and touch my soul. You know, the minds and the thines and the thous of my engorged pubis, aches for your throbbing love poetry.
Well, I didn't have anything prepared, but is it okay if I read something from my journal?
All right, it's personal, everybody. Give him a big hand. Come on, let's hear it. Speak on it, son.
My dear Charlene, how long can I live without your love? I achingly stroke your hair while you sleep, unaware of my presence. I sniff the crotch of your cotton panties, that I might retain your odor for the long bus ride home. Back to my aunt's tool shed, where I turn on my soon-to-be patented Facebook app to winnow out your secrets, your loves, your hates, which X-Men you are. Colossus. Perfect. I scrawl your name and excrement across the windshield of your mother's minivan. Damn her old-fashioned ideas of what love should be. Damn convention. Damn the security guards at your high school. You shall be mine, in this world or the next. I must have you. I need you. I need...
You need to get laid. Or find a bigger problem, and just once, wouldn't it be refreshing to have somebody step up to the mic and with a kind of brutal honesty that shakes the foundations of the building dutifully announce,
This bit of love poem is entitled, I'm So Mad You Sucked That Other Guy's Dick.
Hey, if those girls went over the crowd, you could always switch to DEFCON 5, use your remaining lifeline, and name drop God. Nothing like the salvation solution to save a bad execution. If you will, a profession of confession to alleviate this depression.
Motherfucker, this ain't no AA session.
All right. Jeez, I was just moving on to the empowerment bit. You want to do the empowerment bit?
Yes, I do.
All right, power positions. We don't need Hollywood to tell us where real men should be. Not all of us can be steely-eyed lumberjacks with rippling muscles who drink in moderation and are relatively STD-free. We shouldn't be expected to live up to media portrayals of men as competent, responsible human beings who care about the problems of others and exhibit control over their bodily functions. Real men piss themselves when they're drunk.
Real men have curves.
Real men don't express emotion except for rage.
Real men are composed of organic matter.
This is true. Real men are fighting, farting, fucking machines.
Or you could be the political poet who suffers from a lack of specific information.
You know the type we're talking about, the ones who are really enthusiastic but haven't finished their coursework and they bought the Che Guevara t-shirt on Venice Beach because according to them, quote, Castro really has moxie. Sounds a little bit like this.
People are suffering. Things need to change. Women and children are crying and their struggle shall not be in vain.
Hey.
It's time to stand up and say no! No to things that are bad wrong and make women and children cry. No to things that are bad wrong.
Preach.
Peace. Or you could be that overly verbose asshole who goes on and on and on, has no idea of brevity, and has no intention of checking his own self-inflated ego so that the other poets coming after him might be able to have their time.
Alright, I resemble that remark, and it sounds something like this. It's time for the people to rise up in revolution!
Revolution!
And of course, by revolution, I'm referring to our ability to have self-governing and autonomous collectives rather than the overarching hegemonic authority, but only if the people are free of the mitigating influences of private campaign finance. So maybe revolution is the wrong word. Maybe something a little bit more accurate, like organized collective bureaucratic reform. Yeah, that's kind of catchy, right? It's time for the people to rise up and organize collective bureaucratic reform.
Call it back!
Power to the people! And of course, by people, I'm referring to the effective voting constituency. And by power, I'm referring, of course, to our initiative to engage in constructive dialogue with our elected officials regarding systemic efficacy. So can I get a call back? Can I get a call back?
Call it back, people!
Rise up and organize collective bureaucratic reform. Yeah! All right? Let's good try.
That's close.
Constructive dialogue with elected officials regarding systemic efficacy and effective voting constituency.
Call it back, people!
I thought that was a word.
Dude, you're never gonna take the prize home with Drek like that. And like always, you screwed the time limit. But you don't have to be like my overzealous friend here, because we've got a surefire short list of surefire crowd pleasers that you can add to your slam portfolio.
Hey, try talking about weed.
Hey everybody, I like smoking weed!
There you go. Food as sex.
I want to eat you like a hobo eats a can of beans with a knife.
Hey, try sucking up to the crowd. May I say, you're looking especially fetching tonight.
Embrace your mental illness.
Make the run-on sentences work for you.
Kick the tires, light the fires, and after 3 times the rhyming gimmick expires.
Fuck the police, support the troops, and God save the Queen.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Cigarettes, coffee, and masturbation.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Jan Michael Vincent.
Tastes great. That's filling.
Hey, and if all else fails, there's always overkill, 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 overkill. Or you can challenge yourself. Because we're not talking about a reading here. We're talking about slam! The gladiatorial combat of spoken word. The gauntlet of alliteration. What's the metaphor I'm looking for? The death match of discourse, if you will. It's defined by the visceral rawness of it all in 3D. That uncontrolled id that can operate free of the fetters of sanctioned pedagogy. That's why I was attracted to it. That's why many of you are addicted to it. And that's why I think it should never, ever get too polite. And I'm talking to the poets and the audience on this one. Keep in mind, fiery, immediate feedback is part of the slam culture. It's the theater interwoven into the tapestry that makes it significant. It's a contest. Judgment is not implied. It's emphatic. It's necessary. I mean, nice manners and soft hands will get you far, but they won't get you here.
Right?
And you don't pass through this fire expecting to not get burned. You pass through on the other side, hoping to come out unscathed, with thicker skin. Now, every performer worth their salt knows that they can, will, and should have a bad night. Now, they either cast stones from far, or they take it, learn from it, and get better all the time.
Preach.
Now, I say, a true competitor does not give a fuck about feeling welcomed and encouraged. I say a true performer realizes that the judges and the audience owes them nothing. And I hope the audience gets rowdier. And I hope the judges get tougher.
And I hope the poets grow more bold all the time. Because after all, we're talking about slam. The word itself implies an act of brute force.
Here's to another year.